This is what a typical immigration court looks like.
Your last proceeding, your case was set over to give you time to find an attorney, yet you're here today without an attorney.
I'm representing myself, Your Honor.
So it is true, you can represent your case by yourself, but statistics show that you're more than 5 times likely to win your case if you're represented by an attorney.
I'd like to file my application for relief under the Convention Against Torture Act.
So the Convention Against Torture is actually one of the most difficult types of applications to win. You're much more likely to win if you actually file for asylum and try to proceed with asylum versus Convention Against Torture, because for Convention Against Torture, you have to show that the government and its officers will torture you or will persecute you rather than just showing a well-founded fear of persecution.
589 application and your supporting evidence that demonstrates you will be tortured if returned to El Salvador today?
I do, Your Honor.
So notice how she has next to no evidence. She has her an asylum application and next to no evidence, and we'll see what the judge thinks of this.
The newspaper article is about the school where I used to teach and I live. The year I left, we had 36 deaths. All of them boys who refused to join gangs. I knew them all personally. Many of them were my students. They were good boys, but they had no way out. When I became pregnant, my husband and I knew we had to leave. We couldn't risk our child's life.
Gang violence is not grounds for CAT.
That is true, and this is a typical reaction of an ICE attorney in court. Gang violence is not protected under CAT.
It's not even grounds for asylum.
I'm getting to that.
Speed it up, Ms. Cordova.
I have 2 boys now, American boys. I can't take them to a country where their choices are kill or be killed. The Convention Against Torture clearly states that torture is intense suffering that is inflicted in order to obtain information or to coerce. If I take my boys back, they'll be coerced into joining the gangs, or they will suffer the consequences.
Unfortunately, the Board of Immigration Appeals has ruled over and over that gang violence or gang recruitment is not protected for asylum or Convention Against Torture.
The very definition by which CAT stands.
The state is not deporting Miss Cordova's kids. The state is deporting Miss Cordova.
I'm not leaving. Their father passed away last year. I'm all they have.
Your Honor, Miss Cordova doesn't even have custody of her children.
That's only because I'm in here.
I'm seeing your children are already placed in pre-adoptive foster care.
I'm their mother. I will file to get them back.
Ms. Cordova, your children will be safer here. If anyone's made that case, it's you. Unfortunately, what you have failed to do is make a case for yourself. This application doesn't even make a prima facie case for...
And that is true. This is a typical reaction. If she had an attorney, one of the first questions the attorney would ask is, have you been here for at least 10 years? Because if she has, then she would have a completely different application for relief called cancellation of removal for non-permanent residents based on more than 10 years here and U.S. citizen children. And you have to show that your U.S. citizen children would suffer exceptionally or extremely unusual hardship to win permanent residence.
Relief under the CAT. I'm denying your case, and I am issuing a written order of removal.
You can't.
So this is the unfortunate reality where many claims from El Salvador, Mexico, and Central America are denied. Now, if you're not in jail and not detained, you could appeal this decision. You'd be allowed to stay here for the entirety of the appeal, but it would be a tough type of case to win on appeal. Since she is detained, I assume she's detained because they had her in handcuffs. Now, handcuffs are very unrealistic in immigration court, even if someone is detained, because if someone's detained in jail, they'll actually appear by video from jail and not be taken to the immigration court to sit in front of the judge.